Today we're gonna make the best pumpkin cake ever. It's a soft, tender, perfectly spiced pumpkin cake that has layers of cinnamon, cream cheese, buttercream. Oof, to die for. First step, this is a super easy cake and you're gonna be like, whoa, are we even working? The answer is not really, but it doesn't matter. So we're gonna prepare our pans first, which is like the hardest thing. Get yourself a piece of parchment paper. If you've got big ones like me, because they're all about efficiency up in here, fold them over. I'm going to trace them with a Sharpie because I don't particularly care. And then we are going to cut them both. Cut them on the inside because obviously we traced a circle around the outside of the pan and we want this to fit inside the pan. Math and such. Who said it wasn't useful? And our work is done. Just kidding. Almost though. Now, I preheated my oven to 350 degrees convection already because these can't like sit and chill, or shouldn't, so just know that. Spray your pan, you can butter your pan, you can oil your pan, you can do whatever you want with your pan, but just do something. Give it a little spray. Doop. And then fit one of the parchment circles inside, like a so. Repeat. Go ahead and put that circle inside. You see how nicely those fit? Anyways, our pans are prepared and we are prepared with all of our ingredients. So without further ado, we are going to mix our dry ingredients first. So just go ahead and grab yourself a whisk of choice. I've got AP flour here in my bowl. This is a lot of pumpkin pie spice. Yeah. And then baking soda, baking powder, kosher salt. Whoosh. Whisk it all together. Is it a lot of pumpkin pie spice? Yeah, it is. I like a heavily spiced counter apparently. Come on. Go ahead and just kind of whisk it in. You could back off the spice if you want it more pumpkin-y, less spicy. Cool. Dry ingredients are incorporated. We've got in our bowl whole eggs. Give them a whisk. And we're whisking. All right, and now we're gonna add our oil. This is canola oil. You could use any oil that you choose. Coconut oil will impart a small flavor, but there's so much spice, it won't matter. So you do you. Could you use butter? Yep. It will actually make the texture of your cake a little drier. So just know that if you want to do butter instead. Look at this emulsion we're creating right here. Et voila. Now we're gonna add our sugar. I've got granulated sugar and light brown sugar. Is it a lot of sugar? Yes. But in case you forgot, we're making cake, not breakfast. So get it in there. Now my brown sugar appears to have some lumps. I'm not stressing. You're not stressing. Like a few tiny stray lumps are fine. You want to get like the big ones, like really just kind of, spoosh those up because otherwise someone's going to get a pocket of brown sugar and that someone's really lucky. But not everyone wants that. And now we're going to add our pumpkin. Pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie mix or whatever, just because obviously we already spiced our flour. So just get that pure, beautiful pumpkin puree in there. Yes. Whisk her in. Oh my goodness, look at that color. What? It's like fall in a bowl. This is fairly liquidy, so I'm going to start to incorporate my dry with the whisk and then I will fold. Go ahead and put some of that in there. Do. I really should have chosen a better bowl. Honestly, it's like I never learned. Go ahead and get that in there. Oh, why? So many regrets on my bowl choice. You will be better than me, that's for sure. A spatula. Okay, we're just gonna give that a nice fold. Okay, get the last of our dry in there. Okay, look at that batter. That is delightful. I'm just gonna give it a little try, just, Oh shoot, yum. Now we're ready. You've been ready. Now I'm ready. All right, so now we're gonna put this into between two pans. You can just eyeball it. They're the same pan. If you want to weigh it, you can totally do that. Love you, see you. We could be best friends. This also can be baked into 3 pans. So you can have a 3-layer cake with the same amount of batter. I just don't have 3 pans, so 2 it is. What is that beautiful thing? Do you see that? Yes. Oh, ribbons of cake. Is there anything better? Grab a little offset. Just spread her out a little bit. Make sure that it's nice and even. Into the oven we go. So obviously, as I said before, I preheated the oven to 350 degrees. Convection. If you don't have convection, that's fine. Keep it at 350. And then we are gonna pop these in, and they'll probably bake 25, give or take. So we'll check in 10, just to, you know, put an eye on them. Keep an eye on them. Right, our cakes are out. They baked about 20 minutes until you can see that the sides have cracked and pulled away, and they were kind of, you know, they gave resistance when you touched them. These aren't a great candidate for a cake tester, but you know, that definitely will work. It's just because of the oil. I'm actually going to turn these out onto another baking sheet to cool. I'm going to go ahead and grab the offset. I'm just going to kind of go around. And then I am going to flip it over right there. Now these are warm. These cooled about 5 minutes. So not very long, but I do want to make sure that they cool properly. Ah! Okay, go ahead and get that off. Go ahead and peel that off. And then we are going to flip them back over with a cooling rack. Now be very careful. If you squish them, they will squish. They're soft. So I'm just gonna do this really quickly, like that. Et voila. And now I am going to let them cool. So we have to let these cool completely before we frost them. But at this point, you wanna go ahead and make your cream cheese frosting. I'm gonna doctor up that one up there with a little bit of cinnamon. What's up? And I am going to omit the lemon juice, but you don't have to. I just am. Make your frosting and we will check back in and assemble the cake. All right, so our cakes are cool and we are ready to assemble. So I have already made my buttercream. You can either go ahead and make my cream cheese buttercream when you're making the cake, or you can make it ahead of time, which is what I did, and then you can refrigerate it, and all you do is pop it in a stand mixer, give it a little like twirl about, let it kind of get smooth and silky again, and then you're ready to go. So we are going to add some cinnamon to our cream cheese buttercream. I'm gonna put about like half a teaspoon in here. Go ahead and give it a swirl about. She done. I know, easiest buttercream ever, love it. Now, you don't have to add cinnamon to this. This would be really delightful with just plain cream cheese buttercream, but I like that little bit of cinnamon. You can also add maple, like I did in my pumpkin cupcakes, you know, if you're feeling extra fancy. Grab yourself a cake stand, cake plate, any plate, and let's assemble. I'm gonna cover my cake stand with parchment, and that way, you know, like the strips, I'll tell you. All right, so go ahead and take your parchment paper and kind of fold it in thirds-ish. Doesn't matter, like just strips is good. Good thing they don't have to be crazy because what? Okay. As we were, go ahead and grab your first layer of cake. Whoop. And pop this underneath like so. Try and keep it centered so you don't have to move it afterwards. This way, especially cream cheese buttercream, it loves to get on the stand. Yes, it does. So go ahead and take some of your buttercream, plop it on there, and then get yourself an offset. Small, large, whatever you have, that's what you should use. Go ahead and just spread that out all nice and beautiful, all the way to the edge. Now, fun fact, what we could do here is we could fill the center with something fun, like, I don't know, an apple compote like from my cupcakes, or you know, we just mound that in the center, and that would be a really delightful surprise. And I'm going to turn this upside down. Why? You're like, what is wrong with you? Because it has a perfectly flat bottom, which is now my perfectly flat top. Go ahead and just mound that up there. I'm going to let it kind of fall around the sides, and that's how I'm going to get it around to the edges. You could use a piping bag, but honestly, I don't feel like it. So we're not going to do that. Just want to make sure you get a nice even coat on the sides and on the top. If you find that your cake is particularly crumbly, you know, you could just do a quick crumb coat, but honestly, this cake actually makes a really, really nice kind of outside crust, if you will, and so I don't find it needs that. What I'm going to do is continue frosting the sides, but I'm going to like take some off my spatula and kind of place it where I want it. I think I'm going to do kind of a fun, just like textured side. Ah! No! I'm going to do whatever it lets me is what I'm going to do, I guess. All right. Now I'm going to switch to a large offset spatula, and then I'm going to do some, I want to do some like big sweeping, just textured moves. And then I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do the same on the sides. I want like big swoops, and right now what I've got is kind of small ones, and I want to make sure that those all kind of line up and look nice together. All right, and there we have it. Ta-da! Okay, we are gonna take these out. I'm gonna hold the cake like plate and then just slide these out. So this way it keeps your cake plate clean and you have a nice even coating. You definitely want to take these out before you chill it, if you're gonna chill it, because otherwise it will pull too much of the frosting and that will be sad. Now I'm gonna go around the edge and I'm going to fix it because you know me, or you should by now anyways, and you know I cannot mind the gap, huh? If you did get a little on your cake plate, that's fine. You're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna take a little, just a damp paper towel or regular towel, fold it up all nice, and then run it around the edges just to clean it up, right? It's time to try. All right, I'm just gonna dive in here. Now, could you chill this before you cut it? Yes. Would it even meld the flavors even more and make it even more spectacular? Totally. But you've met me and I'm not that patient, so here we are. I cut myself a nice piece here, a nice generous piece. Ta-da! Oh my gosh, do you see this? Yes, I know. It's exceptional. Do you see these beautiful layers with the cream cheese in the middle and like this soft cake? I cannot wait to dive in right now. OMG. Wow. It's perfectly spiced, the silky cream cheese buttercream, and the soft, moist, tender cake, and then like a little bit in the middle of the cake layers. Oh, it's to die for. Yes, this is the best pumpkin cake ever.